Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are almost done building our hyper relay network, and we have a lot of construction yet to do. We're still working on scaling up our economy, and to that end, our Empire capital currently needs housing. Now, the primary issue here is the devastation, but we could absolutely put in a city district here. Alternatively, do Ascension tiers give housing? No. Okay. Good to know. They reduce empire size and increase the power of planetary designations. Cool. So that's fine. Of course, this is an empire capital, and there's not much we can do about that. It just is going to be an empire capital. So we're lacking 3 housing right now. This is just due to the devastation. I'm going to put in a city district for the moment, and that will fix that. We might change that later. So this is a factory world, and this is probably an actual factory world, isn't it? The enigmatic cache, yeah, we can't control that. So we're going to put in an industrial district here. That looks good. And then let's see here. We've got this tech world. This needs housing. Sure, we can put in a city district on a tech world. This is an industrial world here, which is fair enough, but it's lacking a few buildings. Okay, so we would definitely look to put in a storm attraction center and a storm summoning theater. But we'd also need housing, and I'm going to go with an industrial district for now. So that'll be fine for the moment. And then we've got this generator world here that needs a planetary administration upgrade. Cool. And then that all looks good. Now, we've got the Cetacean 2 out in Valis, and we should have enough influence to do that in 3 months. Okay, that looks good. And we have a job needed on a free read. So this is currently set up as a refinery world, and that does make a lot of sense. So we could definitely continue to work on that. So a job here, well, an astrometeorology observatory is something we should probably put in. A storm relief center is not necessary, is it? No, it is not. Not on a refinery world. A storm attraction center, and then a storm summoning theater. We're going to be really awkward on jobs here. I'm not sure how we want to tackle that one yet. We'll just build these for now and call it good. But yeah, that's going to be a weird one. So this Forge world needs a job now too. And we could definitely put in an industrial district. No problem with that. Yeah, that looks fine. Cool. So the Tsunami fleet is sitting in Lem, and we want to move this back to Radar Central, but not like this. It requires manual intervention because of this really weird pathfinding situation that we find ourselves in. So we're going to move here, and then as soon as we are through this hyper relay, which will be shortly, then we're going to travel through that over to Spica. Braving it to Ojlars? No, you're going to Spica. Transiting via hyper relay to Spica. Yeah, that's correct. And then you travel through this hyper relay up to Radar Central. There you go. Cool. I really hope Paradox fixes this pathfinding situation because it is obnoxious. I must admit to not being a fan of that. That is the main bugbear that I have with this update right now. Is the pathfinding is just completely messed up. Absolutely insane, the decisions that it makes. Like, seriously, we were here, and it wanted to go all the way around here to go to Radar Central. Because it wanted to avoid the storm in Spica. But there's not actually a reason to avoid the storm. We're not going to have an emergency FTL, so what other fleet modifiers are there? None is the answer. I don't understand why it avoids the storms so much, is my point. There must be an option somewhere, right? But I've not been able to find it. So we can go for, say, arc emitters here. That seems fine. And the Cetacean 2 is now ready to build a starbase around Valis, and that is perfect. Let's get that going. So we're going to be done in Wankwort shortly. After we're done with that, we do have more hyper relays that we want to do. We're actually only 35% done here. Okay, and we are currently in Huntour building this physics research here. That is noted. I'm just looking around. We've got a little bit of living metal that we can't get right now. The next thing that we're going to want them to do is head up to Radar Central, which I'm going to tell them to jump drive to bypass the issues with the storm here. And then we're going to come on in over this way, and we want to immediately begin construction of our research stations around the Astral Rift. Okay, so that'll be fine for now. The Ildaran state made peace with Salad. Okay, I mean, they are looking very delicious over there, so that does make sense. Cool. So this starbase is just about done. We're going to be grabbing the resources here immediately. And I also want to colonize this Gaia world immediately with our founder species. Beautiful. So we'll get that colony ship going. We've got 2 colony ships underway. We're also building a pair of Titans. And those will take a while to build. That is absolutely understood. I would like to boost up our number of ships a little bit. Specifically, I'd like to get 1 more destroyer and then 3 more battleships in each of these. Where's the battleship? Fleet is at full strength. 1 out of 2. It's not being built. It's going to arrive in about 5-8 months, something like that. It must be pathing around the storm. There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. No, it's in Radar Central. No, it isn't, is it? No, it's not in Radar Central. It's pathing around the storm. I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing. It's definitely not in Radar Central. That's for sure. So that is all fine for now. This construction ship is going to get finished up over here quite soon. And that, of course, is a great thing. The question then is, what do we want it to do? Well, I think after it finishes that, it should come down to Perseus.
Council agenda available.
No, subjects are not allowed to join. Get out of here. Okay, so we have our council agenda ready. We should launch that. So, let's see here. Citizen pop happiness is fine. Habitability and terraforming speed. Actually, I think we just go with Unity. Unity is good. So that'll be fine. Trust growth, pop upkeep, and trade value. Ooh. Yeah, we'll do that. We've also got this trait pick here. What do we got? So, archaeology skill, not all that relevant. But I guess it's fine. Okay. So this construction ship should be finishing up here shortly. I want to move in and build a hyper relay in Perseus once you're done with that. It's going to take a very awkward path. Actually, I have changed my mind. I want it to come and build this path up over here. Do we need to connect this up over this way? We don't really need to, do we? We definitely could. Okay, yeah. Let's head up this direction and build a hyper relay in Troydom. So that'll be fine. We should be done in Wankwort. Yes, indeed we are. And we definitely want to head into Vokeen, and we'll build a hyper relay there. Cool. So we'll get a couple more hyper relays going, and we'll be done building in Valis soon enough. I don't know if we need this construction ship from here on out, though, after we're done here. It might be okay to keep around. It probably would be, wouldn't it? Okay, we should definitely sell off some minerals here. Research agreement broken. That's fine. And our Titans are going to be done soon enough. Cool. So we've got 2 battleships here. We're waiting on another battleship coming in over here. It's already built. It'll show up eventually. Wow. These guys have terrible tech.
Handshake protocols
okay,
activated.
I just got to point this out here. We would learn 0, 1, 2, and share 73, 60, and 53. Their tech is, well, pathetic. We definitely decline that. This commercial pact would not be a good thing. We're not going to do that. Cool. So eventually our colony ships are going to show up. Association status, that's fine. Eventually these colony ships are going to show up, but they're going to path around in some awkward ways. No doubt about that.
Construction complete.
We're going to be building in Troydom here shortly. We should probably check in on these star bases. Yeah, go ahead and upgrade that to a citadel. Galactic Vryn state into the Confederation. Who's the Galactic Vryn state? Oh, that's these little guys over here. Well. The main problem with this is that everyone gets an equal vote share right now. So that would mean that we're diluting our vote share. We currently have effective veto power in the Federation, and we would be giving that up if we let in the Galactic Vryn state, unless we were able to change over to diplomatic vote weight, which actually the Zeritan Citizen Alliance would accept. Come on, Galactic Vryn state. Or rather, Zeritan Citizen Alliance. There. We accepted that. Now we vote yes to allow in the Galactic Vryn state. Okay. And what is the diplomatic power here? This is actually giving economic power, so we'd have to look at the diplomatic power here. So we can see 25,827 compared to our diplomatic weight, which is actually a lot lower than theirs. So a lot of this is, well, we haven't really worked on our diplomatic weight. We can definitely work on that. That's something we can do. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this. That is, of course, the reason why they're willing to do this. So the Galactic Vryn state has joined. We need to get our diplomatic weight up now. So that is mission number 1. The Galactic Vryn state is going to have very, very low diplomatic weight, so they're going to have very little vote share. And that seems fine. I'm really not too concerned about that one. Once we get our diplomatic weight up, then we want to definitely switch over to succession type challenge. And at that point, it'll be very interesting. Yeah, you can see here the support is not high enough because we don't have enough, but we can get enough. So that's the goal. We're going to need to definitely work on that. And as far as these star bases go down here, I mean, we currently have 4.8k alloys. We're negative in our energy credits. That is remarkable. Why are we negative in our energy credits? That is not expected. Interesting. Well, we've got this generator world here that could definitely use a generator district. We need housing there. That is just due to
handshake
devastation. So that's understood. This is a tech world here, and I would be delighted to put in a... I'd be delighted to put in a research lab here, I think. Yeah. So this is the League of Narania. We would decline that. This Forge world requires a planetary capital. That'll be a very good thing for us, of course. This is an aggro world here, and that's fair enough. Okay, we're back positive in energy credits, but it's not like turbo positive. That's understood. So I think for now, we can put in an agriculture district here, and that'll be fine. This is an aggro world here. I think we just upgrade our city district, actually. Yeah, we put in a city district there. That'll solve that problem. Cool. So no issue there right now. Economically, we're definitely going to... We're going to bypass the Zeritan Citizen Alliance in a lot of ways. Diplomatic weight, though, that is something that we could definitely work on. So, hypothetically, if we were to put in... There are buildings for that, right? We can put in, like, diplomatic corps, I think. I know that the way that I usually would handle it is I would put in... I would usually put in a megastructure for that, which we're currently researching megastructures. So that is all well and good. It's kind of a long-term play.
It's good to see them make friends among themselves.
Okay, Confederated Sovereign Stars? Sure.
Construction complete.
Noted.
Construction
so, the D471 Singularity needs to be upgraded to a Citadel. We definitely need to get another one going here. Yep, let's get that upgrading to a Citadel as well. So all of these are upgrading to Citadels, and that'll be perfect. Let's get all of our Ancient Ramparts queued up for these. because we are eventually going to
Construction
need
complete.
to spend down the minor relics. So that is all absolutely fine. How are we doing on minor relics right now anyway? We have 3.6k. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. So this is all looking reasonably good. We are going to want to build additional defense platforms eventually, and we're going to want to upgrade our defense platforms eventually. But for now, this is fine. We gain some society research? Sure. Okay, so the Cetacean 2 is currently idle in Valis. And what do we want it to do? Well, there are a couple of things we could start doing. We can't build more arc furnaces and Dyson swarms just yet. But we could start building Habitat Central complexes. Now, those are very expensive in influence. 200 influence each. So that's a lot. We could also start building orbital rings, and I think that's probably what we should start doing. So that would mean coming back to Radar Central here and going to Radar Station Alpha and building an orbital ring around this. We would just need a few alloys. So just start moving on over here, and we'll wait until the month tick, and we'll start building this. So this is going to be 50 orbital rings. It's going to take about 2 years, or rather 50 influence. It's going to take about 2 years, so that seems fine. The Great Khan is dead. Okay. So much for the Great Khan. That is the world's most awkward path. Let's not take the world's most awkward path. Let's just jump drive straight on in. So we're going to head from there over here, and we're going to build this orbital ring. We were pathing all the way around this storm yet again. There's no reason to do that, as far as I can tell. Absolutely none. So we've got this generator world up over here. It requires housing, and I mean, it's a generator world. So we would definitely want to put in an energy grid as well as a generator district, although not in that order. We'd want the generator district, then the energy grid. That seems good. Okay, so we're going to get these orbital rings built, and that is going to soak up a lot of influence, no doubt about that. How are we doing on our coverage here? 51%? Yeah, we could definitely boost that up. I'm wondering if we have will to power. Let's hop into our policies here. If I can remember where policies are. Here we go. Okay, so at this point, do we have access to will to power? No, we don't. Okay. Noted. So we are going to need to get that eventually. Of course, these subsidies here are all very good, and we can certainly do that. So let's get those going for now. That'll be fine. So the Wave Skimmer 3 is idle in Vokeen at this point. We're going to go build a hyper relay in Urantok. That will eventually finish up. Wonderful. So we're going to just build a hyper relay system all the way around like this. And then these guys, they're going to build down here. And then the question is, do we want to have this connect up here? Or do we want to have it connect out over this way? Or both? Both is kind of good, actually. So we're going to need to move down to Kazoo. We don't quite have enough influence right now. We will after one more month tick. So we'll be idling this guy for a little bit here. Which seems reasonably fine. So we're going to build this hyper relay as soon as this month tick goes through. And there are a fair number of hyper relays that I do plan on building up here if we're going to connect this way as well as over here. But that would give us a good path down this way, which might end up being necessary. So that's probably not a terrible idea. Those Titans are currently 80% done. And that
Research
looks wonderful.
complete.
I'm also interested in eventually getting the buildings all built up down here, but that's going to be a ways away. No doubt about that. Archaeological site pending. We gain a bunch of physics research. Sounds good. We also just got the arc emitter finished up. We could grab the focused arc emitter. There's actually quite a lot of things that we could grab here. I'm going to grab neutron launchers. It'll be relatively quick. An Ascension theory. That'll give us
Research
that
complete.
Ascension perk. Beautiful. And from here, what else are we interested in? Neural tissue engineering is interesting for sure, but that's always going to be available. Ancient driller drones, that might be an interesting thing to do too. Sure, let's grab that. So that looks fine for now. Now, as far as this Ascension perk goes, what do we want? Well, Cosmogenesis would become the crisis. I don't really want to do that right now. What I'm interested in at this moment is going for possibly... Habitat build cost minus 20% is interesting. That would end up being like minus 40 influence per habitat, which would be a big deal if we wanted to build tall. Which I kind of do. I like doing that. Beyond that, we don't have, like, galactic wonders. Well, we could, once we get mega engineering. We could just keep this around and keep either master builders or galactic wonders. But I kind of don't want to do that. So I think we could go... Well, master builders would be good. Having that megastructure build capacity is a pretty big deal. But honestly, I think our bigger option is Voidborn. I'm going to select that. I'm not necessarily happy about passing up on megastructure construction, but that's the choice we're making here. So we just got to live with it now. Cool. Okay, an additional archaeological site is pending. Ah, the head of Zarklan. And we found the head of Zarklan. These guys are happy about it.
It's good to see them make friends among themselves.
Another Federation, the Galactic Horde. Okay. Well, I wish them luck with that endeavor. The Miracle of Life. Okay, we're starting on another NEMA on our NEMA world. That's amazing. This generator world here, it's poor quality minerals, which makes sense. We're lacking housing, so we may as well put in a generator district and an energy grid. There we go. That'll do just fine. Okay. Not a lot else going on at this exact moment, so that looks good. We do have a leader trait that we could put in. This guy's our prime forecaster, so I guess antiquarian is the way to go. Sure. Those Titans are going to be rolling out very shortly. And we did just establish a colony out over here. So that, of course, means that we put in a gene clinic. I want to put in an astrometeorology observatory. This is a habitat. Okay, there are no districts up here for all of this. As of right now, anyway. But we might be able to get some. Out of curiosity. Yeah, we can build minor orbitals out here. So we build a major here, we would build a major here, this would be a major, this would be a minor, and then we would build a major orbital here. This would be a minor. This would be a major. We would build a major orbital here. I'm not sure if there are any bodies out over this direction. It's kind of hard to see through the storm. There's definitely one here. Okay, I think that's probably almost all, but we would need to come out over this direction. It looks like there's already a orbital here. So our orbital is in orbit here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that'll happen after a while. That's going to take quite a while for that to happen. That's absolutely A-okay. So we'll get that going as soon as we can. And we'll figure out what we want this orbital to be a little bit later on. But we definitely need to get that going. Beautiful. An embassy? Yes, we accept an embassy. Cool. So we need to increase our diplomatic weight, right? No doubt about that. So we're missing a Minister of State. That's dropping our diplomatic weight by 25%. The Guardian Angels Act, the Advanced Storm Studies, the Pangalactic Recycling Initiatives, and Comforting the Fallen are dropping all of this as well. So that is understood. Missing Minister of State. So we need to rework this then. I'm pretty sure that's what we need to do. Okay. So that's fine. We can definitely do that next time we have that up. If I remember. We'll see if that happens. Well, that is indeed concerning. So we're going to have our Titans rolling off of the assembly lines any moment now. Yeah, we're about 2 months away from having all of our Titans completed. So that is very, very good. We're also going to colonize out in Valis very shortly here. That seems wonderful. And down here in Urantok, we're going to be done very soon. So we're going to queue up our hyper relay in Tharum here.
Founding a new home.
And of course, up in Kazoo, we're going to be done fairly soon as well. We're going to need to wait a month tick before we have the influence to queue up in Nosti, but we will head over there very soon here. Just waiting for that month tick. Any moment now. There we go. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish up this little path here, as well as this path, hopefully. That'll maybe not get finished this next episode, but we're going to be working on orbital rings and starting to get some habitats rolling eventually. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.